Opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to Scarefest Television. The original broadcast date, August 12th, 2022. That's like 2.5 months. 2.5 months until our big date. We're in the end game. We're in the end game, as the Avengers like to say. Actually, just Doctor Strange said that. And they named the whole movie after it, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, everybody, tonight what we're doing... Oh, and my lovely co-host, Claire Heaney. Claire Heaney is my co-host tonight. Yeah, go ahead and do that. What we're doing tonight, okay, we've notified our first round of speakers. It puts us a little over half of them, just so you know. But we've got some really great topics. We're going to be talking about that tonight. At the 30-minute mark, we do have a slew of announcements, so we'll waste half the show just going through all the announcements and business we got to do. So, without further ado, Claire, welcome to your second time hosting the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
I'm a little disoriented tonight. Once again, as the regular listeners know, about once a month or so, Windows Update goes there and jacks on my audio settings up. Today was the day. So anyway, in other words, I can hear her, I can hear myself, of course, but I can't hear if anything else is working, so I just have to hope the little green lights are correct, and that everyone out there in Scarefest land can hear me. Okay, let's just go ahead and throw that first one over. Now, this is a return speaker, everybody. A return speaker, Mr. Alan Martin.
So, Alan takes you on a trip down the halls of St. Albans Sanatorium, one of the East Coast's most haunted places. So, it's a little bit on the history as well as the spirits, and it's believed to be to haunt the building still. The spirits do. So he's going to talk about that.
And he's a regular speaker. If you come to Scarefest and you've sat in on the seminars, I'm sure you've got to see or hear him. I mean, you see him too. It's like in the room. That is one thing I'm having trouble with. People asking me on Messenger, what does it cost to meet the celebs? So if you run into in the elevator, nothing. But if you want an autograph, it costs. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Anyway, yes. Alan is coming. He's speaking. We do have he'll be one of our alternate speakers also, in words if somebody does not show up at the last minute. He will be up. Our next one, and I hope I'm not butchering his name. I did not.
So with this, it's the story and the history of Men in Black in the many paranormal events that have been involved in it. So, but it's also a blend among us. I'm sorry, I'm butchering this. Involvement in UFO cases in Mothman. So it's a little bit of discussion where he's going to talk about New York City, Chicago, and a case in Kentucky as well. So kind of blending in real life stuff.
I wonder what case in Kentucky. Oh well. Anyway, in the chat room, Hello, Ben. Welcome to the chat room. Looking forward to seeing and talking to you guys. They're coming in. They've got a little movie they're going to be promoting called Midas Cove. And now, I'm not going to call you out my name, but the person in the chat room, he said, I hope Scarefest comes back to Louisville, Kentucky soon. We have never been to Louisville. That's another thing in the I'm trying desperately not to sound snarky, and in no way I'm being snarky to our guest in the chat. But people send us messages. Why don't you bring this to Reno, Nevada? Why don't you bring this to San Diego? And we're like, because all of our shit's here. You know, and there's no nice way to say it, you know. That is, now I'm getting, everybody, now is everybody in the chat room hearing me okay? Because I'm getting green lights on my board. That's the reason. And I'm also getting green lights on Claire. Claire, say something. Say.
Hey, it's me, Claire.
Yeah. Oh, well. Nobody in the chat room is bitching. That was from Jake.
Mm-hmm. What would he
I have no freaking idea. Anyway. All right, where are we at? Okay, let's just move on now. Okay, everyone, we figured out the audio problem. Normally when we do announcements, and I may not have said that. We're Windows jacked with my settings today. Okay, so hopefully, yeah, the audio is cutting out when the banner comes up. So we'll have to
I'll be quicker with the banner.
Yeah, we'll be quicker with the banner. Anyway, our next announcement is Charles Romans. Charles Romans entering the Shadows of Legend. Over to you, Claire.
Okay, so
I'm tossing it around people now that we know that's the audio problem. I can fix that during the break problem. But yeah, so poor Claire now has actually watched her paper and me and figure out what's going on. So.
All right, so this is for entering the Shadows of Legend, and my little synopsis says brushes with the paranormal.
That's right. So that's one I'm supposed to read because I have to find it here. He messaged the actual description to me.
I did find that he has a podcast on Apple.
Yes.
So,
and basically, his podcast, he brings people in and they talk about their paranormal experience or cryptozoology or ufology or whatever the hell it is that just freaked them the fuck out. And anyway, and that's what the show's about. And so he's kind of synopsized that into actually pasted it in. Okay, award-winning journalist, author, and host of the podcast Shadows of Legend, Charles Romans shares highlights and insights of guest stories and more. The eclectic pool of guests come from every walk of life, but all share one thing: their brush with the strange and paranormal. Is there more than a conventional reality? Some believe so, and others have their personal proof. You decide. See? It's what his podcast is about. But it sounds interesting, and he's a really nice guy. Gifted speaker, much better voice probably than I have, because I can only hear myself tonight. So yes, Charles Romans. Now that we figured out what the hell's going on with the audio, our next banner, Zach Bales in Search of the Wild Man. Show the banner. Go back to Claire.
All right, so join Zach Bales. He is the paranormal road tripper for a unique presentation that will take guests deep into the history and mystery of the Bigfoot phenomenon. including Bale's own harrowing encounter with Appalachia's Green River monster. There's just one monster. Bales will also be discussing his recent book, The Bigfooters Atlas, which was named Book of the Year by Lauren Coleman, the director of the International Cryptozoology Museum in Portland, Maine.
I'll bet there's more than one.
Oh, true.
Because, I mean, I'm assuming there's a breeding population, as we cryptozoologists like to say, a breeding population. That means Bigfoot's in the weeds, getting it on. Otherwise, he's like,
we encountered one.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. If you're gonna believe in this stuff, and I'm not gonna tell you whether to or not, I do, for the most part. I believe all of these legends are based on fact. Did they get twisted? Yeah, but you know, I can't even tell you stuff that happened when I was a teenager and tell it right. So anyway, so next up we have Jason McLeod, Dark Siege, The Demon of Daybreak Farm. Claire.
All right, so this is a long one.
Yeah, do not read. Okay, first of all, I'm going to explain everybody, take Claire off the... Jason McLeod is an author, a prolific author. He's written like half a dozen books. He decided to include one of them in his bio, basically. So anyway, Jason McLeod. Okay, continue, Claire.
All right. So, joint consciousness and paranormal expert, demonologist, and intuitive empath, Jason McLeod.
McLeod.
Captivating. McLeod.
Yes.
Sorry.
The clan
for,
McLeod.
Captivating lecture presentation. Chronicle. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm like an English teacher, and I'm tensing up. All right. So it was a case nearly called off entirely after demonic spirits took control of a nearby car on the highway and hurled it into McLeod's lane in an effort to try to prevent him from arriving to pick everyone up at the Warrens' house. Realizing the grave danger both they, as a collective and as individuals, were in, they continued on together, undaunted, to take the fight to the property the spirits were infesting, and to try to spare the family who had fled the terror from the unending attacks taking place there. So pretty much, I guess, what his story oh, right. Sorry. Cool. Do you want to take this? I've loved this so bad.
Okay. Well, he writes about hauntings. He writes about big hauntings, nasty hauntings, and he's going to come in and tell you about one.
Yeah, and he does have audio recording. So he mentioned there's a little disclosure that says if you are kind of weird about it, that they are really terrifying sounds. So beware. Very stressful.
I wonder if we have any people that are weird about things. Any people that are weird about things. Anyway, I've known Jason, and don't feel bad about his name, because the very first time I interviewed him, I had to ask him just to be safe, but I have interviewed him a couple of times over the years. He's an easy interview. I was having mic problems one night. Actually, it wasn't even mic problems. Windows, once again, decided that the most popular soundboard used in computers would not work with the computer I was broadcasting with. And they just out of the blue one day said, no, screw you. You can't use it anymore. So my mic was cutting in and out. Jason couldn't even hear me talk. And he created an entire show. Interviewed his self. So, yeah. Gifted speaker. Great guy. Okay, let's do one more and then we'll come back to a commercial break, everybody. We'll come back right after we talk about the lovely and talented Stephanie Bingham. Sure better. And Claire.
All right, so when monsters attack, exploring the strange history of cryptoids in Kentucky. So there have been reports of strange occurrences in Kentucky for hundreds of years, but occasionally these go beyond a strange sighting. We will be discussing a few of the occasions when the interactions between people and paranormal become tense and at times a little more. So this will cover the Kelly Goblin attack, the Green Claw encounter, the Land Between the Lakes beast lore, and other paranormal oddities from the Bluegrass.
That Land Between the Lakes stuff freaks me the hell out. I'll just say it. Werewolves, people. Werewolves, okay? And,
yeah, I had to look up what a cryptoid is. I've never heard of it before.
oh, you don't know? Well, yeah.
It's pretty weird. Like,
well, I mean,
I'm afraid of snakes to boot, so...
it's a made-up
and
word.
It's chasing after me?
It's a made-up word.
Oh.
But all words are made up. Cryptid just means a animal that, I guess, does it actually, in the chat room, you tell us, does it mean a animal that is not proven to exist? It's, or an animal, it's something like that. Basically, yeah, that's cryptozoology is the study of animals nobody can fucking find. At least not on a regular basis. Although that chupacabra in Texas, I got a couple of them bitches. Okay, everybody. This is such an honor to do the announcements for our speakers. Because I had this all planned out, and then the audio went sideways, and now everything's jacked up. So, everybody, we'll be right back after this commercial message, and the commercials always work.
Everyone is talking about CBD oil, and it seems like almost everyone is using it. The research is ongoing, but the apparent health benefits are overwhelming. If you're going to use CBD products, though, what brand should you buy? First, find out where the hemp was grown. Imports are flooding the market. How potent is it? Look for a brand that plainly states its concentration on the label. And look for full spectrum CBD. This means the oil contains CBD and all the other cannabinoids, terpenes, and nutrients that are found in the entire cannabis plant. Look for Blue Leaf CBD oil. Blue Leaf Naturals is a Kentucky proud company. They use only Kentucky-grown hemp, supporting Kentucky farmers and businesses. Visit their website at blueleafcbd.com now and use the code SMILE at checkout for free shipping.
And during the commercial break, the answer to Claire's last question was, no, actually, I've done my tarot gallery, which, once again, I don't have to read. I don't have to memorize anything. I just make it up as I go along. So yeah, so we're flying through these speakers, but we'll have a ton of announcements at the half-hour mark. Next up, we're talking about Jeff Ignatowski. Jeff Ignatowski is coming in with serial killer psychology. Banger.
All right.
Now go.
All right, so he's going to be discussing the difference between oh my God, Claire. Psychopathy and sociopathy. Oh my God, that still messed up.
Now that's actually interesting. I don't know that that might. I wonder if that's pronounced I shouldn't even say it.
Psychopathy, maybe.
Is it psychopathy or is it psychopathy? When it's a study, sometimes it changes. Anyway, continue.
All right, so the categories of serial killers, influences, as well as his own background and personal experiences.
Now Jeff is one. Now he's pretty up on this stuff. He's created a card game based on the psychology of serial killers. Now, my own personal experience with it is I've been watching all the Netflix documentaries just to see how screwed up people are. Pretty bad. There's messed up people out there. But that's beside the point. But yeah. So of course, I won't get to hear the presentation. Hopefully, we will record and stream it also, and then I'll be able to go back and listen to it. But it actually does sound like he's a very interesting guy, and will know what he's talking about.
Yeah, even the card game. I mean, that's on Kickstarter. So I was just kind of reading through it, and it looks really fun. I mean, it looks awesome. You said, like, use them as playing cards, using them as trading cards. I'm like, that's neat. I like it.
But does it make you nervous saying a game about serial killers is fun?
Maybe. I mean, maybe, like, as a teacher, like, don't bring that into a classroom. Like,
Some people said, well, that doesn't, what about the victims? And he doesn't use real victims, everybody. It's really about the psychology. In other words, the characters are recreated, the victims are recreated. They're not the actual. But it's really hard for me when I'm reading Facebook to make the distinction between the 99% of the people that I know that love serial killer and true crime podcast, that live on that, and then to say, yeah, but you can't make a card game out of it. They gotta draw the line somewhere. Anyway, next up, Ron Cushman digging up the bones of horror hosting. Banner.
So that was a perfect lead-in. This is going to be a discussion on how horror hosting has evolved from its beginning to today in the world of YouTube, TikTok, streaming platforms, and internet.
Now this is another one I want to know about, because now when you work for a TV station, if you have a real horror hosting job, then they can get the rights, show the movie, you go into your thing on it. But I'm just wondering about a lot of these people that are doing this stuff online. I mean, you can only horror host Nosferatu so many times. In other words, the public domain stuff. So I'm actually interested in how that works nowadays. Because if I show a preview trailer in its entirety, freaking Facebook will give me a copyright violation. For something that they want people to see. Now, YouTube is smart enough to know, well, you just can't. If there's any ads that play during the trailer, the other guy gets money. Fair enough.
Yeah. Because
I don't want YouTube to commercials on my show anyway. All right, and then this is our last. We've already burned through these, haven't we? Mm-hmm. John Herndon Horror Makeup Workshop.
Right, so Makeup Effects 101, a walkthrough of tools and applications for cuts, bruises, scrapes, and burns. We will show how to properly apply and remove prosthetics. We will also go over mask making from sculpture to paint.
Now, this is a little thing I'm going to say to everybody watching, and I'll say it again. I'll go on Facebook and do it. I'll go on TikTok and say the same thing. You all have been asking for this particular topic in seminars for like 14 of the last 14 years. So now we've got actually at least, I think actually 3 people coming in this year. One during the seminars, Mr. Cushman, and then we got 2 more people that'll be doing it on another stage sometime during the weekend. So there's going to be ample opportunities to learn how to do different types of makeup, and I expect every one of you people to be standing there going ooh and ah, and so there. Okay, so that's speaker announcements are finished. I will recap them, however, just to
just the first round.
Yeah, it's just first round. We'll be back hopefully next week. Our plan is to finalize the last set of speakers this weekend and first week, so that I can also build a show around this.
You pronounced it correct.
Which one I used? Oh, that was on God damn you, Claire. Psychopathy, I'll bet. I bet she was talking about psychopathy. I can only do it once.
Someone pronounce it?
Google it. Google it. Nick will. Psychopathy. Yeah. It's when it's a study, I think it's psychopathy. When it's psychopaths. I can't even say it the other way. Psychopath. Psychopath.
But there's no H. So like psychopath, I think is with an H, right?
Okay.
No, it's not. I don't know.
There's an H at the end of it. Anyway. Yes, this is what we do every week on Scarefest TV. We're regular thesaurus. We're regular thesaurus and dictionary. We are. Anyway. But we have fun. Alan Marston St. Albans Sanatorium. William Americh, Men in Black, The History of the Legend. Charles Robbins, Entering the Shadows of Legend, Brushes with the Paranormal. Zach Bales, In Search of the Wild Man. Jason McLeod, Dark Siege, The Demon of Daybreak Farm. Stephanie Bigham, When Monsters Attack. And I just want to throw out there, I've never heard her talk about cryptozoology. And she'll do it in one of the beautiful dresses she wears. I might have to take off and go watch that.
I'm really excited about that one.
Jeff Ignatowski, Serial Killer Psychology. Ron Cushman, Digging Up the Bones of Horror Hosting. And John Herndon, Horror Makeup Workshop. And that is our first round of speakers. That's about half of them. Just lost my earphone. We went through, we picked, the first batch largely on topics. We brought a couple of our speakers back that are regulars, Stephanie in particular, Alan, gifted speakers that come to us just darn near every year and fill the area. As it used to be a room, but now it's an area. And some of the others, we just wanted to get off the ghost hunting 101 stuff. We wanted to move away from that. We get a lot of offers for how to ghost hunt, and because there's so many, how can I put this? There's so many schools of thought on that, and you can't actually demonstrate it very well. So that's what, anyway. So we try to bring in get some topics that we don't normally touch on quite as much. And I'm excited that we do have the makeup seminars coming in. And
you usually have like a lot of like Bigfoot people come in.
Okay. The answer is we generally end up with a seminar or two. I remember the North American Dogman Society came in one year and talked about the dogman, which is a thing that just freaks me the hell out down in Land Between the Lakes. Steve Coles, he's used to come every year or two and do a thing about Bigfoot. He's a big, well-respected Bigfoot researcher. But as far as to put it in a nutshell, for the paranormal side of it, we did not book any cryptozoologists this year. And that is because most of the ones that people are familiar with from TV are booked at another convention really, really close to ours. So we said, well, we can't do that. We're not going to just, bring in the same people and have them show it. Rent the apartment for a month and, you can come back. So that's the story. Because we were light on actual, on the celebrity side of it, people in the booths, we decided we did push a little harder trying to get some cryptozoology topics in the seminar series. So that's how that worked out.
I feel like from the list, what I've seen so far, there's a lot of like myths and stuff, and I love that. I can get on board with myths.
Or
not like
Well, I know what you mean.
The storytelling
like the
aspect
little, the little green creatures down in Somerset, the little woodland character people. It's interesting. And like I said, okay, every now and then somebody has too much moonshine sitting on the porch and a raccoon runs by. I actually tried to debunk a photo a paranormal group took. I think they were actually out west somewhere, but they said they had a video, and it was aimed, for some reason they were videoing the grass, and these little glowing eyes popped up out of the grass. And they were saying it was an mental or a puckwudgie or some god-awful thing like that. I said, I'm pretty sure that's a raccoon. Now, granted, it could have been a groundhog or a possum or any other rodent running about the bushes. But yeah, the little eyes just barely popped above the grass, just enough you could see them. I said, yeah, it's probably a raccoon. Made them mad as hell. No. There are no wild animals in the wild. What are you talking about? I forget what their argument was. But they were absolutely positive it was paranormal and could not possibly be a rodent running about the countryside. But that's, everybody keep talking about the dogmen, and Chad's in the chat room mentioning it. apparently this thing just like ripped somebody up one time and left tracks and all kinds of stuff. And then the North American Dogman Society, when they came on the show, we were talking about it, and they were so dead set the first time I talked to them. It's not a werewolf. It's a cryptid. And then I had to point out to him, the eyewitness accounts, the sons of bitches were like wearing T-shirts. The artists were they had clothes on. I said, by definition, that's a werewolf. And I think they have come, last time I spoke to them, they had come to at least acknowledge that it is a valid viewpoint. That maybe these are not just critters running about, and maybe it's Uncle Fred when the full moon's out or whatever. And Chad in the chat room does point out, but what if raccoons are elementals? And I will just tell you that I know they're not immortal. I live on a farm. Let's do our commercial break. We'll be right back, everybody. And we're going to do announcements, which hopefully the audio will work on those, and I won't have all this other stuff going
on. Spirit Mechanics is here to help. Their background includes many different specialties across the metaphysical spectrum, including alchemy, shamanism, Celtic witchcraft, angelic magic, astral travel, and more.
With over 30 years combined experience in the group, you can be confident in their ability to help. If there is a question you have that you cannot answer, they will do their best to assist you.
Metaphysics can be intimidating, confusing, and unfortunately, abused. Spirit Mechanics takes pride in being selfless in the pursuit of helping others, being humble and honest with their clients about their questions, and lastly, maintaining a professional and personable atmosphere. They want you to feel as you are coming to a close friend, and they will do everything in their power to make you comfortable and safe.
And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest TV. And Chad Harlan in the chat room phonetically spelled out psychopathy for me so that I could phonetically sound it out and not jack it up again. But now, if you try to say psychopathy, hey, I did both within a minute of each other. So I'm winning. I'm winning tonight. Now, we're going to do our announcements. Our announcements for celebrities at Scarefest. I've got three tonight. Our first one I'm very excited about meeting. There it is. Okay, Christina Cleve. I've had her on the show. See, working. I've had her on the show. She did our CyberCon during the apocalypse. Our little tragic effort into virtual conventions. Anyway, yeah, it was bad. Anyway, Christina Cleve. Now she's being brought in by Gun Media. So we're going to give them a plug. She is sponsored by Gun Media. She worked on some other games. But anyway, Eudor from Halloween, the 2007 version of Halloween, Christine Cleve was in that. She's done a bunch of other movies, and when I interviewed her, I watched a bunch of gifted, talented actress, beautiful lady. Although, I don't remember which one that was that I told her that she was kind of creepy. Because she played a cougar. Okay, everybody, Google it. She played a cougar. Anyway, next up, and I hope I remember how to say his name, Damien Maffei. Big in the independent horror industry, in the not the stuff you're seeing in theater so much, but the stuff that's some of the higher end independent productions. Strangers. He played the devil in Haunt, Wrong Turn, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, also being brought in by Gun Media. And I guarantee you, if you don't know who he is, he knows who every star on Stars Row is, because he's pretty prolific young actor. But and we've had some requests for him, so there he's coming. And our next paranormal, Paul Bradford's coming back. He lives fairly close, so he's a fairly easy get. but he's very popular with the fans. Ghost Hunters International was considered a serious show, so Paul Bradford is coming back. We've had him on the hook, everybody, from like last December, and it was this whole big thing about us actually remembering to send him a contract, and then it's a whole thing. But anyway, Paul Bradford is coming. We finally got all the I's dotted and T's crossed, and he will be with us this year. Paul is a hell of a good guy, and his wife is absolutely lovely. So I'm looking forward. You can tell him. You can tell him I said so. I'm looking forward more to seeing her and Paul. But okay, now I do want to get a couple of our sponsoring vendors mentioned here. The Deadbolt Mystery Society. The Deadbolt Mystery Society. Basically, it's one of those secret box things. You get these boxes from the people, and apparently it's got. Let's see what's it. The Deadbolt Mystery Society is a monthly subscription box service for lovers of mystery and suspense. With your subscription, a new mystery box filled with puzzles, evidence, and interviews will be delivered to your door. Each box is a standalone mystery that requires no additional boxes to complete. And they are coming to Scarefest, and they are a sponsoring vendor. Monster Cherry Dolls. You can find them on Facebook real easy. Monster Cherry Dolls, and I understand they're actually building a website now. I think I saw that. They were on Etsy. Yeah, working on our website. We're no longer with Etsy. MonsterCherryDolls.com. MonsterCherryDolls.com. I found them down in Tennessee. This is what I take credit for. They do the little creepy baby dolls. I wish there was a better way to put it. But I saw her. We were CreepyCon. We were down to CreepyCon, and I saw what she was doing, and I talked to her a little bit. And Monster Cherry Dolls is coming back. She came last year, apparently did pretty good, because this year she is coming in as a sponsoring vendor. So check her out. Now, everybody, now you don't have to leave these up. You can pull up me and Claire in between them if it's not too much trouble. Horror trivia, everybody. We're going to start with the launch party. I'm going to try to hammer out some of these details. And Claire, if you think of something you don't understand or whatever. People get tired of watching banners, and would much rather watch you than the banner. Okay, here, Thursday night, we're doing horror trivia once again this year. It was highly successful last year, as in packed the house. And so we're doing that. We had the cutoff time at like 9 o'clock. I think did they run long last year? Does anyone in the chat room remember that? I know Karaoke did, but I was thinking even that. I was thinking we kind of, the crowd was so big we just kept going apparently. But so yeah, if you're they'll do the teams. The teams sign up start at 6:30. The trivia starts at 7. And they've got it scheduled for 2 hours, but I would not be surprised if it ran longer. But that is our official launch party being held at Lex Live in the Corner Bar. Low point I should point out. Because it is being held in the Corner Bar, this will be a 21 and over event. Because you can't walk around in a bar if you're under 21 in the state of Kentucky. So. Next, now this is one, people. I'm surprised it is not sold out more than it has. Some of the teams are getting pretty close. One team has sold out. Throw axes with killers. Of course, we haven't been pushing it on the show too much because I had to do a graphic for it, and I was lazy and I didn't do it. But Friday night, we do have our axe throwing event. Basically, you buy a ticket, you get on a team. This year you get to pick your celebrity. Last year you had, you just signed up and then we stuck you with whoever was standing there. This year you are joining teams. It's going to be a smaller event this year. We do not have as many teams, basically because they changed the layout of the building, and so now we had a choice of either doing this many or a whole buttload of them, and it took a lot to wrangle celebrities. We wasn't sure we could sell it out if we got too many. But we sold out last year with, what was it, 9 teams? And this year, 5 teams. 5 teams, people. So if you want to do this as a participant, get your ticket now, because it will sell out. Now, last year didn't sell out till the day of the convention, but with only 5 teams, makes a difference. And we just announced this past week, Rob Mello is our 5th axe thrower. We got Tom Matthews, of course, Kane is already sold out, but then R.A. Mihailoff, Steve Nappy, and now Rob Mello. So there's your choices for throwing axes. There will be a shuttle that leaves the convention center, presumably about 8:30. It will not leave from all the hotels. Somebody asked me if it'll be leaving from the Hilton. No, it'll be leaving from the convention center and bringing you back. Either to the convention center, it might make 2 stops. It might go to Lex Live and the convention center. But that's the way it'll work, and we'll tell you what time exactly that'll be closer to the convention. And same night, Friday, Karaoke. This was the belle of the ball, and full credit must go to Mr. Jake Godbold for talking us into doing it. Yes, Karaoke, which is karaoke for horror fans. That's the way I know to describe it, except you sing the thing. I don't even know why we bothered changing the name, honestly. Now, Karaoke does start on Friday at 9 o'clock. It's going to start, in other words, as soon as the convention ends. Do not worry about doing axe throwing and karaoke, because last time, karaoke, the bar was supposed to close at, I think, 2 a.m. I think that's like when there's... Didn't happen. They were still singing. So, in other words, you might miss a little bit of it, but do not worry. Going axe throwing will not deprive you of the good karaoke, because now here's what I know about karaoke. The good stuff comes after people have been drinking for an hour. As in, that's the only time I'll do it. So, yeah, karaoke on Friday.
The really good people at the very beginning of the night, like talented people sing in the very beginning.
Yes, but do you, tell me the truth, is that who you go to hear?
No, well, exactly. So that's like, you have to wait it out. Like, and then, the confidence gets better again with a couple of...
But yeah, in full disclosure, the people with actual singing voices that like to sing and like to be in front of people, yes, they will be the ones singing from 9 to 10. So if you want actual talent, if you actually want to hear people sing and not slur and miss words and stuff like that, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, that's the timetable on that. It was just incredibly popular last year. Freak Nicole Griffith out, because she's the only reason that we haven't had it before last year.
They came to hear Jake.
Yeah, that everybody came to hear Jake, who I heard was quite lovely, actually. Apparently, he's like a songbird. But, yeah, once again, great, and that's Friday night after the convention, and, so there. Now, Saturday night, this will be the part that we'll have trouble explaining to everybody. Okay, the core thing going on Saturday night. Lexington's biggest Halloween costume extravaganza, because we needed as many words put into that as we possibly could. Lexington's biggest Halloween costume extravaganza, Friday night. That says Friday, doesn't it? That's supposed to say Saturday. Yeah. I jacked it up. The description on the website's right, but I need to fix that, obviously. Take that down before anybody sees it. In other words, I think the date was right, though. It's just the night. Anyway, what we're doing, we are having a Halloween party on Saturday night at Lex Live. We have basically both bars, restaurant. The sports bar, the big bar, is public. So you can bring your kiddies, whoever you want to hang around with, a bunch of crooked horror movie fans. Now that's going on in the Halloween party is going on in the sports bar. Game day, they call it. Game day sports bar. The VIP area will open at, I believe it's 8 o'clock, because that's when the con's over. The VIP area will be in the corner bar. Now, we're still working on what the scheduling exactly will be on that, but if you have a VIP level ticket, you will be able to get into the corner bar, and we will have our own less crowded bar over there. Allegedly, we'll have some hors d'oeuvres, finger food, whatever you want to call them. And that's where the celebrities are contractually bound to at least stick their head in the door, and go, "Hey, everybody," and then leave. But usually we have pretty good turnout, actually, compared to most conventions. So now, okay, now you got to work around that. At 9 o'clock, we have Scream Queen Bowling. Scream Queen Bowling will be going on, and that will basically be, we have not put it on sale yet, but you'll have 4 celebrities, beautiful, beautiful ladies. Linnea Quigley, Melissa Rose. Who are the other 2? I forgot. They actually did tell me, but they didn't write it down for me. So we got 4 celebrities that will be bowling. You join the bowling team. It'll be, I want to say 5 people. Yeah, 5 people per team plus the celebrity. And you'll have 4 lanes. We're on their VIP lanes, and so we can block it off. No spectators, sorry. You can stand in the other bowling lanes, I guess, and wave at people, but you can't just stand right there behind them. And that'll be going on. Those tickets should be on sale. Everything goes halfway on schedule within the next week, because we were working on it last week. That will run from roughly 9 to 10. We did learn our lesson on that. Don't schedule it right after the con, because it takes a while to get across the street for that one. It's funny, you can get to axe throwing faster on the other side of town than you can actually walk across the street. Because that was that was a blue and white game. Yeah.
Yeah, because the helicopters were flying over and they shut the street down.
Yeah, but that's what we get for scheduling Scarefest. The same weekend as Jason Aldean. Anyway, okay, that's the important stuff.
Was the Thriller Parade last year at that time too?
Yeah, that's on Sunday. Yeah.
I was like, everything was happening like that weekend.
We had hoped to be able to support the Thriller Parade more on our end and their end. In other words, they support us, we support them. But then we realized, okay, the Thriller Parade, they start lining up just about the time we shut the doors on Sunday, and we just couldn't get people over there to help, to do anything. So, but yeah, but what Claire's talking about, if you come in town for the Scarefest and you're there on Sunday, and you're not working, you're not a staff member, walk out the door, walk around the corner, get down on Vine Street, and you will get to witness the Thriller Parade, which is a big deal. Google it, look it up online. It's a big, big deal. It's like the biggest Halloween parade, I'm told, in the country. I've read that on the internet, so you know that is.
Must be true.
It must be.
Exactly.
And pull that last banner back up real quick. I just want to make sure I announced everything I was supposed to, because that banner's got. Oh yeah, I didn't. The costume ball. Never mind. The costume contest will be also on Saturday night. It will be public this year. Last year we did the final judging in the VIP area. Did not work out because it was just too crowded for everybody. But this year we've got DJ Trey coming back. We've got Wicked Beard doing the judging, and that will be somewhere in the sports bar. It will, I believe, the actual costume judging will be at 9 o'clock. I've got it on the website somewhere.
Right there.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, costume contest. It's on the banner. Other than the date, everything's just freaking perfect. Yeah, but that should say Saturday night. Once again, that should say Saturday night. I will fix that on the website. And then another thing, we don't have all the details down, but yes, our horror drag show will be back this year. It will be on Saturday night. We're just toying with exactly when and where to have it, because space. But anyway, so that's what's going on. If you're still wanting to volunteer, you can still do so. We're coming down to the wire, but we are still taking staff applications. And I saw a buttload come through this week. Actually, quite a few people are waiting till now to volunteer. But if about the only difference is now you're more likely when you get there, you may not get to pick your team because a lot of the teams are full. But if you're willing to go where we need you and you work pretty good chunk of the weekend, that was one of our problems. We had a lot of the people that were volunteering said, well, I could work like Saturday from noon to 2. We're like, that's not a lot of help. But, so some of those people got bumped for some people that could put in more time and help us out more. And no, Chad, you don't get to pick your team. You are not even on TV. You are the announcer. You have an entire department, sub-department. You're in charge. And the Scarefest Horror Film Festival, we're up to, I want to say, I don't remember if it was 96 or 98 entries. I just looked today. I have watched all but like 6 films now. I am that close. Meredith, if you're listening, I think I have kicked your ass finally. I think I have finally watched more of the films than you have. Just saying. But anyway, so we're going to tidy that up. The end of the month is the deadline on that, and then get that over to Lex Live. But the Scarefest Horror Film Festival is still taking entries. If you know somebody that might have something that will be ready for it, tell them they need to get their entry in now. And this weekend, Central Kentucky Mystical Market, Lexington's premier monthly psychic and holistic event, will be at the Clarion Hotel on Newtown Pike. I will be there. I did not think I would be there because I thought it would be beautiful weather. Well, it is for like one day. And so I can't get anything done on the farm, so I'm going to take the weekend and go to the Central Kentucky Mystical Market. Once again, Lexington's premier monthly psychic and holistic event. They did not send me the list of vendors today to update the website.
It's because it's been posted all over Facebook all day long.
Oh. I didn't see it.
I shared it.
Okay. I've spent all my day answering questions on Scarefest. Anyway, I don't know what time it is. Everybody will be right back after this commercial break.
Horror. Movie. Fans. 4. Life. On Facebook. Find us. 4 watch parties. 4 news. 4 memes. 4 friends. 4 life. Horror movie fans for life. Join us.
This is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly with another review, Scarefest fans. This week we're going to talk about Jordan Peele's Nope. Did you like Get Out? I loved Get Out. Get Out was one of the most original horror films I've seen in the last 20 years. Kind of horror film. Us is kind of a horror film. Are they overly scary? No. Creepy? Yes. Yes, a little creepy. And the great thing about Get Out was the many layers. And I just loved it. It was a brand new, fresh voice, and it was amazing. And I just loved that movie. And then Us came out, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, it's pretty good. Problem is he may Get Out before Us. If you saw Us and you watch Get Out, you'd be like, oh my God, it's sophomore slump. Not that Us is interesting. I have a hard time with the premise. The acting's fantastic. It's just everybody's got a doppelganger living underground. And then Nope. Did I like Nope? Yep. Do I love Nope? Nope. Was Nope good? Yep. Would you recommend Nope to other folks? Yep. Would you watch Nope again? Maybe, possibly, probably no. So, what's Nope about? 2 siblings running a ranch that they got from their dad, a boy and a girl, and they heard their dad and their family have been in the horse business, doing stunts and movies for years. This movie is beautiful, okay? It's shot for IMAX. So see it on the biggest screen you can. I recommend that. It's got a fantastic cast. I mean, Keke Palmer, amazing. Daniel Kaluuya, amazing. Actually, I kind of liked his performance in this a little bit better than Get Out. It's just the quiet. He just does a fantastic job with quiet. That's the hardest thing to do. Stephen Yeun, you guys will know from The Walking Dead, and one of my favorite character actors of all time, Michael Wincott. Just start quoting things. Cousin Wise, boom. From Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, or The Crow. Caw, bang, bang, fucking dead. Anyway, I've been doing Michael Wincott, a really crappy impersonation for years. I just love him. Love his voice. He's a fantastic character. He's in this, and I was just so excited. I'll give anything Michael Wincott is in a chance. But Nope is a good movie. I just don't know it's as good as people say it is, if that makes sense. I've heard people talking about best of the year, all these other exclamations, and oh my God, this is amazing. And I go, it's pretty good. I didn't connect to it like I did Get Out. Get Out just, I don't know, just hit me like a ton of bricks, like a lot of people. Just knocked me down, bowled me over. And the problem is that's really hard to recapture. Is Nope good? Yeah. Do I recommend Nope? Yeah. Like I said, go see it. Go see it in IMAX in the biggest screen you can. It's beautiful. I just don't know that it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, like a lot of. And I'm not going to tell you more. What is the alien? Is it not? Is it horror film? I could argue that it's not a horror film. It does have aliens in it. But there is some blood, there is some guts. It's just not a ton. It's more of a thriller. I don't know. I liked it. I didn't love it. I don't know that I'll watch it again anytime soon, but it's a pretty good movie. I just don't think it's the best of the year. Go out, see Nope, let me know. I just didn't get attached to it. If you guys feel differently, the third act is going to be tough for some of you. You're asked to buy in a lot. Won't say but one word, balloons. So think of Nope, go out and see Nope, and this has been Joe Lewis. Should you talk to Joe? Yep. Sorry, bad joke.
And welcome back, everybody, to the last couple of minutes of Scarefest TV. Now, Claire, I cannot help but notice you did not apply to speak this year.
No, I couldn't come up with a topic. I was thinking like Goosebumps or something. I don't know what to talk about.
See, now I think it would be easier for you because you talk about pop culture and there's so much of it out there. But yeah, how was your experience in particular last year? Because that's in the new facility.
I loved it. I always, so it was definitely like, I guess coming into it, I knew it was going to be a different layout where it wasn't going to be the private rooms. Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, every single time, I think with all of the panels that I've ever done in conventions in general, Scarefest has always been my favorite. Like you're just greeted with open arms. I think it's fun. Yeah. Other places are like, here's a t-shirt, go away.
See, and Claire was asking me earlier, my first seminar ever, and it was a great honor. It was Scarefest 8 or 9. Probably, at least back that far, maybe even farther. I spoke on spirit dousing. I taught people how to use dowsing rods for an hour. And my story on that is, we called somebody out of the audience because I was convinced a person could douse right then and there. And they could, except the one person I picked out of the audience. This girl had been hit by lightning like how many times? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't remember. It was more than once.
Yeah, it's like she walks out the door. If it's raining, it's going to hit her. But she did, and when you put dowsing rods in her hand, of course they're metal, they would just swing, and you could tell she wasn't. I could not. I said nobody's hands are that shaky. They're just no, it doesn't happen. And I gave her a dowsing pendulum, and now with a pendulum, she could stand there and she would hold it, and I would have let her cut my liver out for a donation. Her hands were so steady holding that pendulum. And so I got to learn something too during my presentation. Then I came back, did the zombie apocalypse, surviving it, did that 1 year.
No, you did it 2 years.
No, I did a Q&A the second year.
Oh, okay.
Because the first year was bad. I don't have it memorized. But I found out the audience, and that was the year I offended some people because I told the story about why I can't use a shotgun in the zombie apocalypse because they hurt. And I learned this dispatching skunks on the farm. So, but one person. So then the next time I gave that speech, I called them paper targets. So that's the kind of person I am. Anyway, so yeah, but it's a great honor. Congratulations to the speakers we chose. They ask me every year if I want to do one, and I say no, I don't have time. But it is always a good time. And this year it'll be where the panels were last year, the front of the building, away from the vendors. Granted, actually no, they're moving most of the food court, I think, out in the whole spine. They call it the pre-function area. So it'll be a little better location. You won't have quite the people walking through the middle of your seminar, where's the concession stand? That should, although this year where we put it, that'll probably be they were here last year. Anyway, so yeah, it's still not an enclosed room, but it will be a little better situation for the speakers this year, and we're looking forward to seeing them and hearing from them. And that's about all we got for tonight, everybody. It is 10 o'clock. The show's over. Next week, if everything goes as planned, I'll have the rest of the speaker announcements. And I might let Claire sit in again because
hopefully I can read next time.
Well, you did fine, but maybe next year I'll have the production quality fixed and they'll be able to hear us, even if you speak during the banner announcement. So, everybody, see you next week.